Hi guys, welcome to Myosite's webinar. I'm your old friend Jessica. Today, I will walk you through a life journey in cities. How can we help our cities to work smarter, more secure, and sustainable through IoT technologies? First, I'm going to talk a little bit about smart, secure cities and sustainable outcomes. I know that's a big topic, but I hope it can bring you guys more ideas when talking with the municipal councils or public infrastructure developers. So just a very quick introduction on Myosite. Myosite is a group company with more than 600 employees. And on last December, Myosite merged with other two six companies. Yearstar and Ursalink into one entity under the brand name Myosite. So you can find extensive product line from the security surveillance to the enterprise communication solution to the AI-empowered IoT solutions. Not only the hardware products like the IP camera, NVR, or the VoIP PBX, or the LoRaWAN-based solutions, sensors, gateways, or the cellular-based industrial-grade routers, but also the cloud-based application servers. So we are able to customize a vertical solution to meet your specific requirements in the real world efficiently. Our customer base is primarily around cities, factories, agriculture business, enterprise, pretty much animal cross-boat who engaged in the process trying to really get deeper involved in engagement in the particular technology that they are working on around sensing. As more and more population are living in the major cities, especially in developing countries, then have you ever think what an ideal city looks like in your mind? An ideal city should be nice from both software and hardware sides. The software side, the culture side, like whether it's a very fast or very slow-paced lifestyle, the delicious food restaurants, friendly neighborhood, your families or close friends, they are living nearby, then you can go outside for movies, even at midnight, without worries about any misbehavior activities, like robbery happening to you. Then from the hardware side, the city's management, the city's governance should be always maintained in high-efficiency ways. This infographic helps define the need for the ideal cities. It also gives great examples how technology can be applied in urban settings to facilitate cities, so they can work better for their citizens. And from this aspect, an ideal city should be smart, secure, and sustainable. A smart, secure, and sustainable city, 3S City, is a framework predominantly composed of information and communication technologies to develop, deploy, and promote sustainable development practice to address growing challenges. A big part of this information and communication technology framework is an intelligent network of connected objects and machines transmitting data using wireless technology and cloud. Cloud-based IoT applications receive, analyze, and manage data in real time to help municipals, enterprises, and citizens make better decisions. 3S cities will use low-power sensors, will use wireless networks and mobile-based, cloud-based applications to measure and optimize everything within cities. Smart cities, they are not just a concept, not a dream of the future, thanks to the widely innovative Internet of Things solutions. Many are already active and expanding rapidly. So, let's dive in. Why do we need smart, secure, and sustainable cities? Because the urbanization is a non-stop phenomenon. It may slow down but not end, especially in some developing countries. It will keep in a very fast developing speed for a long time. I'd like to read some statistics for you today. 54% of people worldwide live in cities, and this figure is expected to reach 66% in 2015. With the overall population growth, Urbanization will add another 2.5 billion people to cities over the next 3 decades. It's a very terrible number. And for example, in Xiamen, where I'm living 20 years ago, the small seaside city just had 2.5 million population. But now, there are more than 5 million population are cloudedly living here. And Xiamen is just a very small city in China, so we can imagine what's the situation in other super big cities like Shanghai and Beijing. And environmental smart, social security, and economic sustainability are must to keep pace with this rapid expansion. 193 countries agreed upon these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So those global goals are so closely related to our daily life. So we do believe in the sustainability. Through building a sustainable city, we can support a better planet and create a better living environment for our people. Building a sustainable city can indirectly or directly promote the development of other initiatives. Because cities are the spaces where all 17 goals can be integrated together to provide holistic solutions for the challenges like poverty, exclusion, climate change, and other risks. But we all know how centralized decisions and actions can take time. And I'd like to show you an example here. In China, we have a very famous land finance policy because 30 years ago, the tax system was reformed. Most of the tax must be transferred from the local government to the central government. So the local governments immediately ran out of money. In order to maintain the operations, they had to sell land. So it became the major source of income for the local governance. How could they sell the land at a higher price? All of the local authorities have a same target, which is to urban development, build the cities better and better. So before selling the land, there would be a plan. Local government promise people, if you buy apartment here, you will get a better environment and your life will be easier. And people trust this promise. They buy houses and apartments with loans. And the local governments get income through the land selling, and later they use money on the city construction. The city becomes safer, prosperous, and healthy, attracting more companies, and people stay in the city. That's our sustainable and very positive circulation. And citizens and local authorities are certainly more prefer to take these fast actions to make this change happen. And IoT technologies are fundamental and super important to the success and meeting these tasks. So, after this background, after these targets, let's see what are the best one of these technologies for the 3S cities. The first building block, the foundation of any smart, secure, and sustainable city application, is the reliable wireless connectivity anywhere. Like we said, there's no one-size-fits-all, so we can see the coexisting of low-power wide area network technology and the cellular 5G technology in smart city. LP1 technologies are well suited to most city applications for their cost efficiency. LoRa is the most popular, is the proven champion in the LP1 technologies. The 5G technology is expected to drive smart city technology into the mainstream and accelerate some new deployments. So why LoRa? The first thing is the flexible deployment options that you have from a public or private perspective. LoRa is set up in a way where you can deploy low-cost infrastructure for public or private projects. The firmware updates over the air is something that LoRa supports, which is something other competing technologies do not do. LoRa is bidirectional security, which is 128 AES encryption from the time the data leaves the device all the way till the time it's received and decoded on the application app platform. And one of the greatest part of the technology is actually the battery life. It has long life, literally around 10 plus years. And it does depend on how you configure device, how many times you transmit uplink message. But overall, it gets really great life expectancy. LoRa is being able to bring the coverage to areas where cellular coverage is poor or non-exist, especially in rural areas or even in urban areas where the coverage is not reaching. Finally, the deep penetration. LoRa is great to penetrate concrete ground, steel, and use case that I will talk to you shortly will actually demonstrate this capability. And no technology that would fit in all instances. So besides LoRa, 5G covers the real-time tasks for critical applications. Today with 4G LTE, we are able to manage industrial controllers, security cameras, and many other machinery in cities. However, when more users come online, 4G LTE will reach its limit, which basically means 4G LTE is getting more congested. So 5G will be able to handle 10 times more traffic, which is a large pipeline. The major benefits of 5G are large connectivity with low latency and a high data rate with optimal energy. In the smart city network construction, 5G is deemed to open new opportunities that never done by 4G LTE. For instance, people are working so hard on automated and unmanned driving based on 5G. For the efficient communication between vehicles or the vehicles-to-person communication. The things that are important, it doesn't matter if this is about municipal projects or whether it's about private usage in your own garden, to get something which we can actually use these technologies for not just now but moving forward to the future. We need to make these technologies sustainable for what we are trying to do. That requires us to do things like build our network, which we can actually relate on, which is going to be sustainable from the technology point of view, but also sustainable and make sense from economic and from beneficial point of view for our community. Now to build a smart, secure, and sustainable cities, the networks power everything, what I think it needs to do. And this is experience we had with our customers, whether city customer or enterprise customer, is to choose the smart wireless technologies to build up that networks. And LoRa and 5G can give us so many advantages. It's so much choices. With these 7 examples here, there are only 7 examples of many, but they actually come from our worldwide customers, and I think they are needed by every city. So now I'm going to check just a couple of the use cases, just to highlight the idea that how 3 city looks like. Waste collection. The increase in population means an increase in waste. Truck drivers currently collect waste on the predetermined routing, emptying all trash bins along that route regardless of their field rate or field level. Resources such as manpower, time, and oil gas are used inefficiently, causing additional pollution and impacts the driver, the city, and the citizens. So, with the smart bin sensors on the containers, waste management company can watch their drivers move around the city in real time and give direction based on the data collected from the bin sensors. Management center can quickly and easily direct their truck drivers to only the bins that need servicing. And LoRa technology helps cut down on costs, ensures that no 4 bins will be overlooked. And every trash container that needs to be emptied will be emptied in that day timely. So that's the very good benefits that brought by LoRa. And I think every city needs waste management, whether that is around understanding the storm levels or understanding river levels, sewage levels, or flood monitoring. Monitoring the rainfall and understanding that and automating data with real-time data to actually give you an outcome and actually make a decision about when maybe you can have overflowing stormwater application. It's really important application for smart cities infrastructure, we should say. And another example of this has been proven globally. I got a little picture there for sensing soil moisture. In many European countries, with this very extensive LoLa1 coverage, number of other locations where the soil moisture sensors have been used to monitor the applications around actually water volume in a particular location. Now, what that's done is literally saved millions of liters of waters in a year, and is contributed to the reduction of carbon dioxide, the atmosphere, by the means people not driving around to the place for actually turning on the tap. It's also, of course, increased efficiency. And IoT technologies can bring many benefits. I will touch this very quickly. Fire protection systems are life-saving infrastructure in every city or even high buildings. But many fire protection systems across China are not being inspected as they should be. And I think that's the labor cost of skilled inspectors. I think that's one of the main reasons. Therefore, instead of sending inspectors to the field when they can only get to a few job sites a day, a more efficient process would deploy smart devices that allow these inspectors to monitor remotely. So LoLa make life easier and cooler, but also promise to enhance the efficiency of the fire protection systems that are designed to provide life safety. So you can find here we take use of our LoLa1-based pipe pressure sensor to monitor the leakage in the fire cistern. And the interesting one I'd like to talk a little bit about is the important assets. It's easy to be stored in an environment which may or may not be actually suited to that particular around asset, like books, precious books, bamboo slips, silk fabric stored in an environment which would make sense to them. In other words, the moisture level, the temperature level are the levels that can maintain and look after the assets in a particular location. What price you put on them are preciously, in other words. And I think every city has a library, has a bigger or smaller museum for the cultural activities. So very comfort environment can be created at the same time to reduce the carbon dioxide, TVOC concentration through the same device. And environmental monitoring, such as the air quality and traffic flow density. This is a really important element in every corner across Singapore, and indeed probably in the world that has big population in the capital. And it needs to manage things like carbon dioxide, PM2.5, PM10, various harmful gases, and video streams. The things can be monitored in a cost-effective method by building very efficient technologies around the networking, like integrated LoLa1 and cellular together, to bring back your sensing data and real-time videos into a single location. And the interesting thing here, our customers in Singapore keep their existing analog sensors and converging them to LoLa1 through Myosite controllers. That's the most cost-effective way to reform a traditional infrastructure, I think. And emergency response systems are an essential element for the indication of a very good governance system. Quick response to the incidents ensures a very safe environment for our citizens. To satisfy these needs, emergency panic buttons are located, suitably sized, identified and clearly labeled for emergency. The most common panic button is the physical panic button with buzzer sounds or without any sound, which are often used in schools, banks, retail locations, and other public spaces. Alarm can be sent to an alarm company and local law enforcement like police to save extra time. Or it can be installed inside, like the washrooms, for the senior people usage. So, these multiple use cases, the multiple access to the device sensing opportunities, allow you to continue to add value into your network over and above that into the future. I think that's very important as what we were talking about. And Myosite has extensive products that are specially designed for the smart city usage. I think many of you are very familiar with these LoRaWAN-based antennas, gateways, and Myosite IoT Cloud, as we have introduced them in other webinars already. But here I'd like to introduce this ultrasonic, the ultrasonic-based distance sensor for the waste collection or for the manhole cover usage. And smart button here, the smart button for emergency response, they are coming in this quarter, I think, very quickly. For more details, you can find from our official website. You can download datasheet over there. And I know many customers are waiting for this camera that integrated 5G and LoRa together. This camera is an innovator. Why? Because it can be worked as a LoRaWAN gateway. So you can work it with other LoRaWAN sensors to collect the data from them and forward through the LoRaWAN network to remote areas. And if any incident happens, for example, carbon dioxide concentration increased to a threshold as your presettings, camera will switch to 5G mode automatically. It means high-definition video streams of the field are captured and transferred through 5G network with no latency. So it's very convenient for limited space installation and maintenance. And I think when 5G and LoRaWAN combine, the smart city truly comes to life. Imagine a world where we have safer roads and stress-free communication on connected vehicles, and we can also make the right decision before traffic congestion. A sustainable world where waste collection systems can identify and dispose of garbage on the streets before citizens complain about it. A more convenient world where machine vision-enabled drones or robots efficiently carry out pizza or delicious Chinese food and deliver to your house within just a few minutes. When pandemic isolated us at home, I think it's an amazing world. Okay, that's all for today's webinar. Thanks very much for your time today. See you next time. Bye-bye.